Hello guys, this is your friend and we are back with a new fanfic. Which is what if Naruto was in a team without Sasuke and Sakura part 2. And if you enjoy this fanfic then please press the like button and subscribe to my channel for more fanfic like this. And now let's start the fanfic. Hidden among the lush foliage, a meticulously placed Naruto clone perched on a sturdy tree branch, blending seamlessly with the surrounding scenery. Its purpose? To remain undetected, ready to pounce upon any unsuspecting trespasser who dared to take the bait. With keen eyes scanning the vicinity, the clone remained vigilant, acutely aware of the potential threats that lurked nearby. Suddenly, a voice wafted through the air, interrupting the tranquility of the scene. "Watch where you're stepping, imbecile," a man's voice grumbled with a touch of irritation. "Sorry about that, brother," came a reply, laden with a tinge of remorse. "Just shut up and get to it," the gruff voice retorted curtly. Intrigued by the exchange, clone Naruto's ears perked up, focusing intently on the conversation unfolding in the distance. Curiosity fueled his determination to uncover the identities of those involved. Patiently, he waited, biding his time for the arrival of the mysterious individuals. After what seemed like an eternity, 3 men materialized just beyond the boundaries of Takeo's sprawling ranch. The strategic ploy to entice them with bait had borne fruit, for the ranch was plagued by a notorious bandit gang notorious for stealing cattle. Aware of the impending danger, clone Naruto resolved to vacate the area swiftly and alert the original Naruto, for their combined strength would be required to face this imminent threat. Moments later, 2:10 a.m., Naruto found solace in the embrace of a hay bale, his weary body succumbing to sleep's irresistible call. Oblivious to the world, he slumbered, oblivious to the traces of drool glistening on his chin. However, his tranquility was abruptly disrupted as clone Naruto shook him awake, driven by the urgent need to share his crucial findings. "Oi! Wake up! Wake up!" Clone Naruto implored, his voice tinged with urgency. "Huh, I wasn't sleeping, Asuma-sensei. I swear, I was just resting my eyes," Naruto protested, his drowsiness temporarily clouding his senses. "I'm not Asuma-sensei, idiot," the clone snapped, exasperated by the mix-up. Naruto, now fully aware of his surroundings, rubbed his eyes and comprehended the truth. Standing before him was one of his clones, not his mentor. A mischievous grin played upon his lips as he playfully retorted, "Well, if I'm an idiot, then you're an idiot." Brushing aside the light-hearted banter, clone Naruto delved straight into the heart of the matter. "Whatever, that doesn't matter. We have intruders. They took the bait," he informed, his voice laden with seriousness. Curiosity ignited within Naruto's heart, his thirst for action finally quenchable after a prolonged period of anticipation. Eager for details, he inquired, "How many?" "3 of them, they're near the unfinished section of the fence." Clone Naruto responded promptly, relaying precise information. Understanding the urgency of the situation, Naruto assumed his role as the leader. "All right then, return there and tail them. I'll alert the others," he commanded, his voice resonating with determination. The clone nodded in acknowledgement before swiftly departing, leaving Naruto brimming with enthusiasm at the prospect of long-awaited excitement. Takeo's cabin, 2:15 a.m. As Naruto gently tapped Asuma-sensei's shoulder, he uttered, "Asuma-sensei, we have trouble." Asuma, who had been peacefully slumbering on a couch upstairs, emitted a groan of frustration. Meanwhile, Shino and Ino were nestled in a spare bedroom where they had been resting for the past few days. "Took 'em long enough," Asuma grumbled, expressing his impatience. He turned to Naruto, posing the same question he had asked his clones earlier. Without hesitation, Naruto simply regurgitated the information his clone had relayed. Satisfied with the update, Asuma instructed Naruto to awaken their companions and prepare for action. "Go wake the others and meet me at the back," Asuma commanded, taking hold of his pouch brimming with essential ninja tools as he descended the stairs. Naruto set out to rouse his teammates, beginning with Shino, knowing him to be the more easily awakened of the two. With a gentle nudge, Naruto whispered, "Shino, wake up. We need to meet up with Asuma-sensei at the back. It's go time." As expected, Shino stirred without resistance, promptly adhering to the instructions. Now came the challenging part, waking Ino. "Sai, I'm definitely getting punched in the face," Naruto thought to himself as he knelt down beside Ino. However, before he could gently nudge her, Ino's eyes abruptly widened upon realizing Naruto's proximity. Reacting on instinct, Ino swiftly struck Naruto square in the face with a clean and forceful punch. Stumbling backward, Naruto rubbed his cheek, exclaiming, "Damn it. I knew I was going to get punched. What on earth was that for? What are you doing, you pervert?" Ino retorted, her anger palpable. "Pervert. You're the one who punched me, you psycho." Naruto fired back, his frustration evident. Defending herself, Ino argued, "When I said, wake me up, I didn't mean for you to invade my personal space." "What? I wasn't invading your personal space. You're completely out of your mind, you know that." "Forget it. Asuma-sensei told me to wake you all up. We've got company," Naruto explained, attempting to defuse the situation. Concerned, Ino inquired, "They took the bait?" Yeah, just get ready and make your way to the back. I'll head there now. We'll wait for you," Naruto responded while tenderly caressing his cheek, feeling the sting of Ino's punch. At the back of Takeo's cabin. 2:30 a.m. I already informed Kaneshiro-san and Akemi-san about the intruders and told them to stay put so we can handle this. Y'all ready? Asuma asked, seeking confirmation from his students. Each of them nodded in response. Okay. Good. Did you send a clone to follow them? Asuma inquired. You bet. Naruto replied confidently. Okay. Where is it? Asuma pressed for information. It suddenly dawned on Naruto that he had lost track of his clone. He stammered, feeling a sense of embarrassment. What's the matter? Asuma questioned, sensing Naruto's hesitation. I don't know where my clone went. Naruto admitted sheepishly. How are we supposed to find them now, Naruto? Ino interjected, expressing her concern. I'm sorry. I didn't think this through. Maybe if I create more clones, we could possibly locate them. Naruto suggested, attempting to salvage the situation. No, kid. Dispel all of them, Asuma firmly retorted. But why? If I dispel them, the clone I sent to follow the intruders will vanish too. Naruto protested. Just trust me on this one. Now go ahead and dispel all of them. Asuma ordered, conveying his authority. Reluctantly, Naruto agreed, knowing that his sensei had a plan. He performed the hand seal to dispel his clones, dissolving their existence. What now? Naruto inquired, his curiosity piqued. Just give it a second, Asuma calmly replied, his demeanor indicating that he anticipated something. As Asuma had suggested, within moments, Naruto suddenly became aware of the bandits' whereabouts. Surprised, he exclaimed, I know where they are. But how? I'll explain it another time. Now, where are they? Asuma inquired once more, eager to act upon the newfound information. Follow me. They're this way, Naruto responded enthusiastically, his excitement evident as he swiftly started sprinting in the direction where the bandits were located. His teammates, including Asuma, chased after him, their determination matching Naruto's as they embarked on their pursuit. Somewhere in the woods, 2:50 a.m. How many more cows were you able to lure, Takeshi? A man asked. I managed to get 3 more to follow me. Where's Tadashi Aniki? Takeshi inquired. Do I fucking look like a psychic to you? The man retorted. Geez. I was just asking. Takeshi replied. Quit yapping and get these cows out of here, the man ordered. The 2 men proceeded deeper into the forest, accompanied by the stolen cows. Keeping the cows together proved to be a challenging task, but the bandits persisted, driven by the allure of money. After a while, they arrived at a smaller clearing near the base of a tall cliff, a contrast to Takeo's spacious ranch. Standing before them was their elder brother. Where are the cows, Katashi? He inquired. We've got them right here, Aniki. Now what? Katashi responded. We head east. The nearest town is located in Ta no Kuni, land of rice fields. Once we sell these cows, we'll be in for a hefty payday, Tadashi chuckled, relishing the thought of a substantial profit. But, where do we steal from next? Takeshi asked. Just leave that part to me. Just do as I say, Tadashi asserted, much to Katashi's annoyance. Suddenly, they heard rustling from a distance. What was that? Katashi asked. A couple of kunai were thrown from the trees, narrowly missing their intended targets. Shinobi. You idiots. You two were followed. Tadashi bellowed. It's not my fault. If anything, it's Takeshi's fault. Katashi argued. I didn't know there were shinobi in the area. Takeshi offered. That's why I told you to scout the damn area, days ago. You're useless. Tadashi exclaimed in frustration. Sai, let's just get this over with. We know you're out there. Come out, so we can settle this. Want these cows back? Come and get 'em. Tadashi taunted. Team 10 emerged from the forest, ready to confront the bandits head-on. Tadashi chuckled at the sight of 3 children and 1 adult. What's so funny? Ino asked, her voice filled with determination. Didn't expect to fight 3 children and their babysitter. Looks like I was worried for nothing, Tadashi replied, mocking their capabilities. Naruto's anger flared, and he clenched his fist, ready to attack. However, Asuma intervened, stopping him in his tracks. Naruto, don't. He's trying to provoke you. Control your temper. Now is not the time for a tantrum, Asuma commanded, his voice firm and authoritative. Yeah, listen to your babysitter. You're far away from home, kid. You shouldn't have come here, boy. Tadashi continued taunting. He cracked his joints and prepared himself for the imminent battle. You two deal with the kids. I'll take care of the big one. I never thought I'd have to use this, he said, grabbing a pouch containing pills of some kind. Take 3 and finish the damn job, he instructed his brothers. Katashi and Takeshi each took 3 pills from the pouch, while Tadashi swallowed one himself. What did he just take? Ino asked, curious about the pill's effects. Shino examined the small pill in his hand, its purpose shrouded in mystery. It appears to be some sort of enhancement pill, similar to the soldier pill we use, he commented, his voice tinged with curiosity. Asuma gathered his students around him, a serious expression on his face. Remember what I've told you before, this ain't training anymore. This is the real deal, he emphasized, his tone stern. One wrong move and you're done for. Don't underestimate our opponents. I don't want your deaths weighing on my conscience. If any of you dies, it'll be on me. Understand? He questioned, seeking confirmation from his attentive students, who nodded in agreement. Tadashi smirked mischievously, interrupting the somber atmosphere. Ah, how touching. Enough with this mushy crap. Let's do this, he declared, unsheathing the tsurugi strapped to his back. Swiftly, he charged towards Asuma, his blade swinging menacingly. Asuma deftly blocked the attack using his trench knives. Hey, not bad for a bandit, Asuma remarked, impressed by his adversary's skill. Who says I'm just a bandit? Tadashi retorted, his voice dripping with confidence. He channeled chakra into his arms, causing his blade to grow heavier, catching Asuma off guard. Pushing Tadashi back, Asuma executed a backflip, creating distance between them. Thoughts raced through his mind. In Asuma's mind, this guy's pretty decent. However, Tadashi remained relentless, charging at Asuma once again, his tsurugi whirling through the air in an attempt to strike. The clash of metal against metal echoed through the air, accompanied by sparks that erupted from their blades. Asuma, determined not to be on the defensive, launched a swift counterattack, slashing one of his knives towards his opponent. To his surprise, Tadashi evaded the strike with remarkable speed. Seems like what they consumed was more than just a basic soldier or chakra pill, Asuma mused silently. He continued his onslaught, slashing his blades relentlessly, but Tadashi skillfully blocked or dodged each and every attack. With Shino, Ino, and Naruto. We don't want to fight you, Naruto pleaded, his voice filled with earnestness. I wouldn't want to fight myself either, so back off. And stop meddling in our business. The stranger retorted, his tone laced with irritation. Interesting business you've got here. Didn't know stealing was a business. Ino taunted, unable to resist the opportunity to provoke him. I warned you, Katashi declared, swallowing his very first enhancement pill. As the pill coursed through his body, a surge of power enveloped him, revitalizing his senses and bolstering his strength. Takeshi followed suit, experiencing the same empowering effects. Katashi channeled chakra into his legs, granting him heightened speed. Think fast, he exclaimed, swinging the tanto he held in his hand. He closed in on Ino, but Naruto intercepted, blocking the blade with one of his kunais. Either you're brave or you're an idiot. Think you have what it takes to kill, little boy? Katashi jeered. Why don't you pick on someone your own size, you coward? Naruto retorted, his voice filled with defiance. Feisty too. Since you interrupted me, I'll make sure you're the one to die first, Katashi threatened, swinging his weapon once again. Naruto managed to block the strike, but he felt the strain in his arms. He still had much to learn about using weapons, just as Asuma had advised him. What are you waiting for, you moron? Don't just stand there. Help me, Katashi yelled to his brother, who had been lingering in the background. Takeshi also infused his legs with chakra, granting him a burst of speed. He sprinted towards Naruto, intending to overwhelm him. However, Shino intervened, impeding Takeshi's progress by hurling a barrage of shurikens at him. Takeshi evaded the projectiles, causing him to change direction abruptly. Shino then unleashed his bugs in an attempt to hinder Takeshi, but they were swiftly incinerated by a well-timed fire-style jutsu. It appears they're more than just ordinary bandits, Shino observed, recognizing the enhanced abilities displayed by their adversaries. Naruto and Katashi continued their intense duel, their blades clashing with Ino occasionally providing support through her well-aimed projectiles. She patiently awaited the opportune moment to employ her Shintenshin no Jutsu, mind-body change technique, to secure victory. However, she knew she couldn't unleash the jutsu recklessly, it would be a grave error. Naruto pushed Katashi back, creating some distance between them. Seizing the opportunity, he unleashed one of his signature moves. Kage Bunshin no Jutsu, Shadow Clone Technique, Naruto exclaimed. What? Can't handle me alone. You need backup, huh? Katashi goaded, attempting to unsettle Naruto and provoke a misstep. Naruto, don't listen to him. He's trying to mess with your head. Ino shouted, her voice filled with concern. Shut your trap, kid. I'll deal with you later. Katashi shot back, dismissing her words. Just you wait. I'll show you what Uzumaki Naruto can do, Dadbao. Naruto declared, charging towards Katashi. His clones sprinted alongside him, kunais gripped tightly in their hands. The clones closed in on Katashi, converging from every direction. Unyielding, they persistently pressed forward. However, fueled by the effects of the enhancement pills, Katashi skillfully defended himself. He dispelled the clones one by one, employing a flurry of punches, slices, kicks, and tosses to incapacitate them. Naruto, hold him down, she urgently cried out. We're doing our best, echoed the chorus of clones, determined to fulfill their mission. With Shino and his opponent engaged in a fierce battle, their clash unfolding in a distant area that kept them apart from their respective teams but close enough for the echoes of their fight to reach their comrades' ears. Listen, man, it's nothing personal, but I have no choice but to kill you. My brothers will kill me if I fail. Takeshi admitted, his voice tinged with a hint of regret. The sentiment is mutual. I hold no grudges against you, I am merely fulfilling my duty. Though my comrades did not threaten my life for failure, Shino responded, his tone resolute. In a swift motion, Takeshi tossed a smoke bomb onto the ground, engulfing the battlefield in a dense cloud of smoke. Shino found himself momentarily blinded, but his sensory abilities offered an advantage. Releasing his loyal insects, he relied on their keen senses to locate his elusive adversary. For a brief moment, silence enveloped the area until Shino's instincts kicked in. He leapt to the left, narrowly evading a fireball hurtling towards him. Seizing the opportunity, Shino retaliated by sending his insects swarming towards Takeshi, taking advantage of the opening created by his earlier jutsu. Haijutsu. Mushidama, hidden jutsu. Insect sphere, Shino declared. Unfortunately, Takeshi struggled to complete the hand seals for his Kaiden, Gokaku no Jutsu, fire style, fireball jutsu, in time. Overwhelmed by the swarm of insects, he couldn't help but exclaim, "You, gross. Get these things off me." With his wakizashi in hand, Takeshi infused it with chakra, igniting the blade with flames. Kaiden. Hai Shinten no Jutsu, fire style, flame spread technique. He bellowed, flailing his blazing weapon to eradicate the bugs that clung to him. After successfully eliminating the swarm, Takeshi turned, only to find his opponent had vanished. Forced into a defensive stance, Takeshi stood his ground, keeping his guard up and scanning his surroundings for any sign of Shino. It was then that he heard a rustling in the nearby bush. 3 replicas of Shino emerged simultaneously from different directions, launching a volley of shurikens towards Takeshi. Empowered by the enhancement pill he had consumed earlier, Takeshi adeptly deflected or evaded the projectiles aimed at him. While he managed to fend off Shino's initial assault, Takeshi found himself in an unfavorable position. Preoccupied with dodging the shurikens, Shino and his clones closed in, narrowing the distance between them. Engaging in close quarters combat proved challenging for Shino, a fighter accustomed to mid to long-range battles, as Asuma had advised. However, in this situation, he found himself alone, Naruto and Ino preoccupied with a more aggressive and volatile foe. Consequently, Shino stepped out of his comfort zone, transitioning between hand-to-hand combat and occasional long-range attacks. Caught off guard, Takeshi struggled to counter Shino's assault. In an unexpected turn, one of Shino's clones tackled him, causing both combatants to tumble across the ground. After a few moments, Takeshi regained his footing, swiftly dispelling the clone by slashing it with his weapon. The other clone lunged from behind but met a similar fate, easily neutralized. Both combatants were left panting, but Takeshi exhibited greater exhaustion. His chakra reserves were rapidly depleting, while Shino had conserved his energy throughout the battle. "I suggest you surrender," Shino interjected. "Why should I? They'll kill me," Takeshi retorted, fear evident in his voice. "You're almost out of chakra. If you use any more, you'll die anyway," Shino calmly reasoned. "Then I'll just ingest one more pill, problem solved," Takeshi declared, reaching behind him only to discover his pouch was missing. "Are you looking for this?" Shino revealed, holding the pouch in front of Takeshi. But how?" Takeshi exclaimed, disbelief coursing through him. "One of my clones detached it from your hip during our scuffle." "You didn't notice," Shino explained. "But how did I run out of chakra so quickly?" Takeshi questioned, frustration lacing his words. "Not only were you using your chakra inefficiently, but the bugs I sent to swarm you also drained some of your chakra," Shino revealed. Gritting his teeth, Takeshi tightened his grip on his blade. "They're gonna kill me," he admitted, his tone filled with fear. "Then turn yourself in," Shino suggested. Takeshi fell silent, dropping his weapon to the ground, a sign of defeat. Seeing this as an opportunity to restrain Takeshi, Shino retrieved ninja wire from his pouch. As he prepared to bind him, Takeshi swiftly threw a smoke bomb onto the ground, creating a dense plume of smoke that enveloped the area. Coughing due to the sudden smoke release, Shino waited for the haze to dissipate. When the smoke cleared, Takeshi had vanished, leaving Shino alone in the aftermath. With Naruto and Ino. "Crap," Ino exclaimed in frustration after her failed attempt to hit Katashi with her shurikens. You're gonna have to try harder than that, girly. And you. Getting tired. Katashi taunted Naruto with condescension. Physically. No. Tired of your crap. Very. Naruto jabbed back. Ha. You've got moxie, kid. I respect that. Too bad I still need to kill ya. Katashi sneered. You have to find me first. Taju Kage Bunshin no Jutsu. Multiple shadow clone jutsu, Naruto yelled, creating a multitude of clones that surrounded Katashi from all sides. That jutsu again. You're a one-trick pony, kid. Katashi remarked. What's that supposed to mean? Naruto asked, oblivious to the insult's meaning. Stupid too. Katashi replied, further fueling Naruto's anger. The clones rushed towards Katashi, and although he managed to dispel a few, he was eventually overwhelmed and tackled to the ground. Under a pile of Naruto clones, Katashi remained quiet for a while. Did you get him? Ino asked anxiously. Suddenly, all the clones were thrown into the air, revealing an enraged Katashi who broke free effortlessly. Alright, that's it. Now you've really pissed me off. Time to die. Katashi hissed with fury. What the heck happened? How did he get stronger? Ino questioned, bewildered. I think he took another pill, and this one is probably more potent than the first. Naruto replied. What now? Ino inquired, uncertain of their next move. I guess it's now or never. I'll try to hold him down while you land your jutsu. I've got a plan, Naruto said confidently, earning Ino's trust despite not knowing the details. Taju Kage Bunshin no Jutsu. Multiple shadow clone technique. Alright, let's try this one more time. Naruto exclaimed, his clones echoing his determination as they rushed towards Katashi for the third time. Not gonna quit, huh? Fine by me. I'll enjoy killing both of you. Katashi taunted, preparing for Naruto's attack. Half of Naruto's clones engaged in combat, but they were dispelled easily, one after another. Katashi successfully dispelled all the clones once again. The remaining clones began throwing shurikens at Katashi, but he deflected them effortlessly, scattering the projectiles on the ground. Naruto decided to increase the number of clones and joined the battle himself. This is getting tiresome, boy. Is this all you know? Some shinobi you turned out to be. Katashi taunted, attempting to provoke Naruto. Slowly but surely, Katashi started getting overwhelmed by the sheer number of clones attacking him. Despite his increased strength from the pill, he was not invincible, and fatigue started to set in. Anticipating another tackle, Katashi infused chakra into his legs and leapt high into the air. Before jumping, he left an explosive tag on the ground, causing most, if not all, of Naruto's clones to be dispelled in a single blast. As the dispelled clones emitted smoke, Katashi landed on the ground, expecting to see Ino and an unconscious Naruto before him. Katashi then prepared to deliver a fatal blow to Naruto. The situation seemed dire. Ino, filled with desperation, called out to Naruto with all her might, shouting, "No!" in a desperate attempt to intervene. In that critical moment, a surge of adrenaline rushed through Naruto's body. Ignoring the pain and fatigue, he mustered all his strength to rise to his feet. With a fierce determination in his eyes, Naruto intercepted Katashi's attack just inches away from piercing his chest. Using his forearm, Naruto blocked Katashi's strike, narrowly avoiding a fatal blow. The impact sent a jolt of pain through Naruto's arm, but he refused to give in. Drawing on his last reserves of energy, Naruto retaliated with a swift punch aimed at Katashi's face. However, Katashi was quick to react. He evaded Naruto's punch, ducking to the side, and delivered a powerful roundhouse kick to Naruto's side. The force of the blow sent Naruto hurtling through the air, crashing into a nearby rock wall. The impact echoed with a loud crack, leaving Naruto in a state of excruciating pain. Ino, witnessing the devastating turn of events, refused to stand idly by. Despite the pain and exhaustion coursing through her body, she pushed herself to act. Summoning her willpower, she struggled to get back on her feet and charged towards Katashi, clutching a kunai in her trembling hands. In a desperate attempt to save Naruto, Ino lunged forward, attempting to stab Katashi. But her attack was swiftly countered. The clash of their weapons was brief, a mere moment before Katashi disarmed her effortlessly. Ino's heart sank as her weapon slipped from her grasp. With his advantage restored, Katashi struck Ino with a powerful punch to her gut, followed by a swift kick that sent her sliding across the ground. The impact caused intense pain to surge through Ino's body, leaving her disoriented and struggling to regain her footing. Meanwhile, Naruto, though battered and injured, refused to let despair overtake him. Summoning every ounce of determination he had left, he fought against the pain and pushed himself to rise once more. With a broken nose and blood streaming down his face, Naruto glared at Katashi with fierce determination. As Katashi prepared to deliver the final blow, his intent to end Naruto's life palpable, Ino's voice pierced through the chaos. "Naruto!" she shouted, her voice filled with desperation and the refusal to accept Naruto's fate. The cry shook Naruto to his core, igniting a surge of inner strength. With a renewed resolve, he braced himself for what was to come, determined to protect his friend and continue the fight, even against all odds. The chilling words reverberated through the air, "It's over." The glint of Katashi's blade aimed directly at Naruto's chest sent shivers down the spines of all who witnessed the impending doom. In a split second, as Katashi's lethal weapon descended upon Naruto, a sudden twist of fate intervened. Katashi swiftly pivoted, wielding his blade to slash at an incoming swarm of insects, skillfully summoned by Shino's mystical art. Haijutsu. Mushizenpu Hidden Jutsu. Insect Whirlwind, Shino declared, casting a jutsu that unleashed a torrent of insects, forming a whirlwind-like motion around Katashi. The insects relentlessly assailed him, draining his chakra and relentlessly pushing him back. Unfazed by the swarm, Katashi bellowed, "Ha! You think a couple of puny bugs can stop me?" Infusing his blade with streaming chakra, he unleashed a devastating jutsu, reducing the insects to ash, leaving Shino astonished by his mastery of Hai Shinten no Jutsu, fire style, flame spread technique. Analyzing Katashi's moves, Shino discerned his understanding of fire techniques, correlating their intensity with the chakra he expended. With an unyielding composure, Shino remained undeterred by the incineration of his loyal insects. Katashi, grinning with triumph, inquired, "If you're here, then it means you dispatched of my brother then." Shino's response was as composed as his demeanor, "Your brother escaped not too long ago." "Tch. That fucking coward. But it doesn't matter. I don't need that moron anyway." Katashi retorted dismissively, launching himself toward Shino. Realizing the peril of engaging Katashi directly, Shino evaded his attacks, strategically creating distance between them. With each evasive maneuver, he unleashed a relentless flurry of bug-infested assaults. Yet, Shino knew he could not sustain this assault for long, his chakra dissipating rapidly. Noticing Shino's waning movements and flagging energy, Katashi taunted, "What's wrong, kid? Getting tired?" Undeterred, Shino continued to dodge and weave, his attacks growing sloppier as exhaustion took its toll. In an attempt to obscure Shino's vision, Katashi threw a smoke bomb, engulfing the battlefield in a haze. Amidst the thick fog, Shino stood firm, panting heavily, as he summoned the last vestiges of his chakra to send out a swarm of insects to locate his elusive enemy. Sensing a chakra signature closing in from behind, Shino swiftly turned, kunai poised to strike, only to witness his opponent dissipate into smoke before his eyes. A momentary lapse in judgment allowed Katashi to seize the advantage, delivering a powerful kick to Shino's back, toppling him to the ground. Struggling to rise, Shino's efforts proved futile against his adversary's overwhelming strength. Seizing Shino by the throat, Katashi lifted him effortlessly, his grip tightening around Shino's windpipe, constricting his breath. In a menacing tone, he uttered words dripping with disdain, "You should have stayed out of this, kid. You already won your battle. You could have left, but you didn't. And now it's gonna cost ya. I'll squash you like your bugs." Katashi sneered, poised to snap Shino's neck. Oi, I ain't finished with you yet. Naruto's thunderous yell echoed through the battleground. Naruto. Ino groaned as she saw her blonde teammate struggling to stand once again. Begging for more, huh? Katashi yelled as he pushed Shino aside. Katashi had underestimated the determination of these young ninja, thinking they posed no real threat. I guess I just don't know when to quit. Naruto retorted. Props to you, kid. But that'll kill you in the end, Katashi remarked. Then I guess I'll keep on fighting until then. Naruto retorted as he swiftly performed a hand sign, creating multiple copies of himself. I'm getting sick of your jutsu, boy. Katashi shouted. Ino, take Shino with you. I'll buy you guys some time. Naruto exclaimed. What about why? Ino interjected, concerned for Naruto's well-being but was cut off by her teammate's shout. Just go. Naruto insisted. Reluctantly, Ino hurried to help Shino escape while Katashi pursued them. Naruto stepped forward, determined to face Katashi head-on. You'll have to go through me first. Naruto declared boldly. Gritting his teeth, Katashi swung his weapon, and their blades clashed once more. The force of Katashi's swing sent vibrations into Naruto's arm, causing numbness to spread. It's useless. Just give up. Katashi growled. Never. Naruto yelled defiantly. Naruto swiftly dashed backward, creating more clones to overwhelm Katashi. Taju Kage Bunshin no Jutsu. Multiple shadow clone technique, Naruto roared as his clones began to charge at Katashi. Bring it on. Katashi growled as he unleashed his fury on Naruto's clones, one by one dispelling them. The prolonged fight had taken its toll on Katashi, and the effects of the second enhancement pill he had consumed were wearing off. Looking around, Katashi realized Naruto had vanished from sight. Moments passed and there was still no sign of the blonde ninja, which made Katashi speculate that Naruto escaped as well. But then ground cracked beneath him, and a clone of Naruto burst through, delivering an uppercut that sent him flying into the air. Katashi's body ached, and he struggled to catch his breath. His earlier confidence had been shattered by Naruto's relentless determination and unexpected power. As he reached for his last and final enhancement pill, a mix of desperation and determination filled his eyes. Meanwhile, the real Naruto stood on the ground and announced, Kage Bunshin no Jutsu, Rakusan. Shadow Clone Technique. Parachute. He created 4 clones around him and jumped up, using his clones as a springboard to launch himself into the air. Not like this. Katashi muttered under his breath. He knew that taking the pill came with risks and side effects, but he believed it was his only chance to turn the tide of battle. But before he could so, Naruto reached the same height as Katashi. He waited for him to descend and initiated a taijutsu move. Bunshin Kaden Kakuto Otoshi. Clone Spinning Heel Drop. Naruto created 2 more clones to join him in a devastating combo attack. Spinning in the air, Naruto and his clones delivered powerful heel kicks. The clones aimed for Katashi's shoulders while Naruto targeted his head. The impact of their strikes sent Katashi hurtling towards the ground, creating a massive crater and raising a cloud of dust. Naruto landed safely on the ground but struggled to stand, his knees buckling under the weight of exhaustion and the injuries inflicted by Katashi. His heart raced, fueled by adrenaline coursing through his veins. Summoning the last of his strength, Naruto approached the crater to find Katashi lying motionless, clutching an enhancement pill in his hand. I did it. I did it. Dat. Naruto's celebration was abruptly cut short as he collapsed, succumbing to extreme exhaustion and the severe beating he had endured. Victorious but battered, Naruto lay on the ground, covered in cuts and bruises. With Asuma. This part took place when Naruto was facing Katashi all on his own. Seems like I have to step up my game then. Looks like the basic shit won't cut it. Asuma said to Tadashi. Their battle has been going on for too long. Sure, Asuma could go all out if he wanted to, but he wanted to gauge his opponent's skill first before doing so. By any means, Asuma wasn't belittling his foe because he did not want to reveal all his cards to his enemy, as that would be foolish. Plus, He still doesn't know the full capabilities of the pills Tadashi has at his disposal. Asuma tightened his grip on his trench knives, it then began to glow with a bluish aura. It also started to vibrate as Asuma channeled his chakra into his blades. Getting serious now, are we? Let's dance. He taunted Asuma as he ingested another pill. Asuma really wanted to finish this fight as soon as possible, not knowing if his students were still safe was killing him on the inside. He didn't respond to Tadashi's taunt but instead rushed forward, now this time he was on the offensive. It's his turn to set the tempo, he began by closing the distance between him and Tadashi. His opponent was barely able to react, it was as if he was far away for a moment but then a second later, he was right up at his face. Tadashi tried to block Asuma's attack, but he was too late. Asuma delivered 3 quick right jabs to Tadashi's face followed by a strong punch to the back of his skull causing him to lower his head against his own will. He quickly continued his combo by slashing Tadashi left and right. Once he was finished slicing and dicing Tadashi, he delivered an uppercut thus lifting him up to the ground. And while Tadashi was in midair, Asuma jumped up and spun around to add more momentum to his punch. Once his attack connected, it sent Tadashi sliding across the ground. Once Tadashi stopped stumbling, he quickly got up to his feet in order to defend himself. But Asuma didn't stop there as he vanished from his sight and reappeared behind him, he's fast. He thought to himself. He was then pulled out of his thoughts as Asuma grabbed his arm and lifted him over his back thus throwing him to the ground. Asuma's throw had enough force to make him bounce off the earth, he spun around to add momentum to his punch once again. Tadashi was sent flying to the cliff's wall. The impact cracked the rocks reminiscent of a spider's web. Tadashi groaned as he coughed up some blood, he attempted to get back up with all his strength no matter how shaky his legs were. He was panting like crazy, he didn't expect him to be that fast. Even with the effects of the enhancement pill he ingested, he still wasn't able to quickly react. Give up now and you'll live to see another day. From the looks of it, I'm guessing you 3 aren't bandits but missing nins, huh? Asuma asked sternly. Tadashi spat out blood onto the ground, what's it to you pal? Tadashi asked snarkily. With the way you fight, as well as the tools you got. It all screams, I'm a missing nin. To me, Asuma explained. I ain't gonna rot in jail, bitch. Tadashi yelled frantically. He knew he was done for, the pill he took before receiving a beating was essentially a waste. The chakra it gave him was instead used to keep his body functioning when it should have given up after Asuma blitzed him. And he was on his last enhancement pill since he gave the others to his brothers. The only thing is that the last pill he's got at his disposal was a prototype. A prototype that was more potent than the ones he consumed before. He knew this would certainly give him more strength but other than that, he knew nothing. Not even if it was safe to use. Without any hesitation, he took the pill and gulped it immediately. Tadashi felt immense power enter his body, he felt like he had the strength of a dozen shinobi. Not only that but his body began to change and contort. His muscles began to increase in size, making him bulkier than he already is. Yes, I can feel the power coursing all over my body. He grinned in satisfaction. The urgency to end the battle engulfed Asuma as he channeled an increased amount of wind chakra into his blades, heightening their reach and sharpness. But before he could launch his offensive, Tadashi disappeared in a blur, reappearing beside him with a spinning kick. Asuma, relying on his honed skills as a shinobi, managed to block the attack, yet the weight behind Tadashi's blow left a lingering numbness in his arms, an uncommon sensation he rarely experienced. Seizing the opportunity, Tadashi swiftly aimed a slash at Asuma with his tsurugi. Asuma, his hands occupied with his knives, couldn't attempt a defense. Reacting swiftly, he executed the kawarimi, body replacement technique, swapping himself with a nearby log. Tadashi's blade sliced through the wooden decoy with ease, sending shards scattering through the air. Sensing an approaching presence from behind at breakneck speed, Tadashi turned, clasping Asuma in his grip like a spider snaring its prey. A grunt escaped Asuma as Tadashi slammed him to the ground and forcefully kicked him into the very same wall that had previously sent him flying. How's that feel? Huh? Hurts, doesn't it? Tadashi growled in anger. Asuma endured the searing pain, gradually rising to his feet, refusing to remain grounded any longer. As he regained his stance, he tightened his grip on his blades, infusing them with wind chakra to further enhance their sharpness and range. Once more, he vanished from Tadashi's sight, a calculated maneuver to catch his opponent off guard. The same trick won't work on me, you idiot. Tadashi sneered. Tadashi sensed a surge of chakra coming from above and instinctively swung his sword in a wide arc. But instead of blood spilling from Asuma's body, it transformed into a mere puff of smoke. What the? Tadashi's exclamation was abruptly cut off. Kanashibari no Jutsu, temporary paralysis technique, Kaden. Heizenkusho fire style. Ash pile burning, Asuma and his clone declared in unison. While Asuma's clone immobilized Tadashi with temporary paralysis, the original Asuma unleashed a fiery jutsu. A stream of chakra-infused gunpowder surged forth from Asuma's mouth, engulfing Tadashi completely. Once the gunpowder encased him, Asuma ignited the explosive mixture by striking a flint between his teeth, resulting in a massive explosion. A swirling maelstrom of dust and dirt filled the battlefield, leaving behind scorched earth and billowing smoke. Asuma cautiously awaited the outcome, hoping that his tactic had been successful. As the haze dispersed, he beheld Tadashi, still standing remarkably intact despite the devastating blast. It seemed that the pill had granted him heightened resilience and resistance to explosive attacks. However, something appeared amiss about Tadashi's posture as he stood motionless. Maintaining his guard, Asuma's vigilance was rewarded when Tadashi's body suddenly pitched forward, crashing to the ground with a resounding thud. Sighing with relief, Asuma knew that the arduous fight had finally reached its conclusion. However, his brief respite was cut short as his thoughts turned to his three students. Acting swiftly, Asuma retrieved a sealing scroll and promptly sealed Tadashi's lifeless body within it. It was protocol to collect the remains of a Nukenin in the event of their demise. Wasting no time, he completed the sealing process. At Konoha's hospital, in the dimly lit room, the muffled voices of two men conversing reached Naruto's ears. Struggling to make out the words, he strained to listen. Apparently, they were Nukenin, and they had some sort of soldier pill. Were you able to recover some of it? Yeah, it's in the scroll I gave you earlier. Very well. Is there anything else I should know? Seems like his tenant helped him back there. I see. And did he display any other concerning signs? I'm not sure. I wasn't there when it happened. As Naruto gradually regained consciousness, he found himself in a pristine white room, with his sensei and the Hokage standing nearby. As his vision cleared, he recognized them. However, before he could speak, concern for his teammates overwhelmed him. Where's Ino and Shino? Are they alright? Naruto's voice trembled with panic. Calm down, Naruto. They're fine. Take it easy. If anything, you should worry about yourself. You did well, Naruto, so don't worry, Asuma reassured him, trying to alleviate his fears. The door swung open, revealing a shinobi who addressed the Hokage. I have other matters to attend to. Get well, Naruto-kun, and congratulations on succeeding in your first battle, Hiruzen said, offering Naruto a warm smile before departing, leaving Naruto and Asuma alone. However, instead of feeling elation, Naruto experienced a sense of disappointment. Asuma, keenly observing his student, inquired about his troubled state. What's the matter? He asked. Naruto's voice was tinged with self-deprecation as he berated himself. It's just, I wasn't strong enough. We almost got killed out there. It's probably a miracle or a fluke that all three of us survived. If I had been stronger, this wouldn't have happened. Naruto expressed his feelings of weakness and inadequacy. Asuma's gaze softened, and he offered Naruto words of wisdom. If you think you're weak, then work hard to become stronger. Belittling yourself will do jack shit, it'll hold you back, kid. Just keep moving, grow stronger each and every day, to protect those you value. Asuma comforted Naruto, gently patting his shoulder. Left alone in the room, Naruto absorbed Asuma's words, allowing them to replace his doubts and disappointment with determination and renewed vigor. Somewhere in the wilderness, north of Konohagakure, Takeshi raced through the dense, impenetrable darkness of the woods. Fear coursed through his veins, propelling him forward, despite the knowledge that his siblings might still be alive. He couldn't bear the thought of facing them and the potential consequences of abandoning them. The distant rumble of thunder echoed through the air, accompanied by the relentless downpour that transformed the ground into a treacherous, muddy terrain. Each step became a precarious gamble, but Takeshi pushed on, desperately searching for shelter to shield himself from the storm. The open wilderness offered no respite or refuge. His breath came in ragged gasps as exhaustion began to take its toll. In his haste, Takeshi's foot caught on a hidden root, causing him to stumble and plunge headlong into a deep hole. Fortunately, his fall was broken by something solid, but the stickiness of the surface trapped him, rendering his attempts to escape futile. As Takeshi wriggled and struggled, his heart sank when eight ominous, glowing red eyes appeared before him, accompanied by a chorus of menacing snarls. A flash of lightning briefly illuminated the creature lurking in the shadows, a grotesque amalgamation of a spider and a wolf. The monstrous hybrid bared its razor-sharp fangs, growling with anticipation. Takeshi's attempts to scream were in vain, his voice lost in the tumultuous storm. The despair of his impending doom washed over him, amplified by the rain that drowned out any hope of rescue. He was trapped, ensnared in the web, destined to become the creature's nocturnal feast. At the hospital, do I really have to? Naruto complained, his voice tinged with reluctance. Of course, Uzumaki-san. This medicine will help you recover much faster. The nurse replied firmly. But it tastes awful. It's disgusting. Naruto protested, scrunching up his face in distaste. Now, Naruto-kun, good medicine often tastes bitter. And it is in your best interest to take your medicine. Not unless you want to stay here longer. The Hokage interjected, emphasizing the consequences of refusing. With a sigh of resignation, Naruto reluctantly agreed and swallowed the medicine, grimacing at the bitter taste. See, that wasn't so bad, right? Anyway, you can go home tomorrow since you're pretty much back to 100%. I'll be leaving now, Hokage-sama, the nurse informed them before taking her leave, grateful for the opportunity to oversee Naruto's recovery. Now alone with Hiruzen, Naruto seized the chance to express his concerns. So, Naruto-kun, how are you feeling? The Hokage asked, his tone gentle. I feel much better than I did back at Kaneshiro-san's ranch. Naruto replied, his voice reflecting a mix of relief and lingering discomfort. I heard you took quite a beating, Naruto-kun, Hiruzen remarked, acknowledging the challenges Naruto had faced. With a heavy sigh, Naruto admitted, yeah. Hiruzen's tone became reassuring as he spoke, there's nothing to be ashamed of. In fact, you should feel proud that you were able to come out on top. Naruto's brows furrowed in confusion as he considered his sensei's words. I guess so, Hokage Gigi. I'm guessing Asuma-sensei told you, huh? He did. He informed me about how you were feeling disappointed in yourself. I was simply concerned about your well-being, Naruto-kun. I apologize if I intruded upon your privacy, Hiruzen explained sincerely. No, it's all right, Hokage Gigi. I'm not mad about that. It's just, there's something else that bothers me. Naruto admitted, his voice tinged with uncertainty. Curious, Hiruzen prompted him, and what is that if I may ask? I just realized that I killed someone. And I don't know how I should feel about it. Naruto confessed, his voice filled with a mix of guilt and confusion. Understanding the weight of Naruto's words, Hiruzen chose his next words carefully. I see. Well, there comes a time in a shinobi's career when they have to take a life for the very first time. It is a part of our duty, Naruto-kun. You should prepare yourself for such situations in the future. However, it is crucial not to relish in the deaths of those you kill, as that path leads to darkness. A dark path? Naruto questioned, seeking clarification. Hiruzen nodded solemnly. Indeed, Naruto-kun. We kill because we must, not because we want to. It is a fine line to tread, but it is necessary to maintain our values and protect what is important. You did what you had to do at the time, you protected those that matter to you. If you have the will of fire within you, then you must fight. But not for your self-interest, but rather for the greater good. Listening attentively, Naruto absorbed his words, a mix of contemplation and acceptance filling his expression. Shifting the conversation, Hiruzen inquired about Naruto's plans once he left the hospital. Do you have any plans in mind, Naruto-kun? Naruto's mind started racing with excitement as he made plans for his immediate future. Well, I was going to check on Shino and Ino, to see how they're doing. Then, I'm going to Ichiraku ramen, I haven't had a bowl of ramen in so long. And lastly, I'm going to train. Naruto replied, his voice filled with enthusiasm. Hiruzen, intrigued by Naruto's third plan, inquired about his intended training focus. However, Naruto found himself at a loss for words, unsure of what he should practice. Noticing Naruto's hesitation, Hiruzen asked, Naruto-kun, are you alright? Oh, sorry, Hokage Gigi, I must have spaced you, hee. Naruto chuckled, rubbing the back of his head. Naruto's ability to amuse Hiruzen never failed to bring a smile to the old Hokage's face. Curious about Naruto's training aspirations, Hiruzen asked, so, what do you want to learn, Naruto-kun? The prospect of being trained by the Hokage filled Naruto with excitement. Wait, are you gonna train me? He exclaimed, unable to contain his enthusiasm. Hiruzen chuckled at Naruto's reaction. Not necessarily, Naruto-kun, but if time allows, then we'll see if I can at least teach you a thing or two, he replied, managing to temper Naruto's expectations. Naruto's initial excitement waned slightly as he contemplated what he should focus on in his training. Sheepishly, he admitted, oh, okay then. And to answer your question, Hokage Gigi, I have no clue what I should be working on. Understanding Naruto's predicament, Hiruzen offered a suggestion. I see. Well, why not head to the library once the hospital releases you? Confused, Naruto questioned, the library? Yes, Hiruzen affirmed. What am I going to do there, though, Hokage Gigi? Naruto asked, still uncertain of the library's relevance to his training. Why read, of course. You can learn so many things there, Naruto-kun. Knowledge is a powerful weapon that only a few people dare to touch. And all you have to do is look for it, Hiruzen explained, emphasizing the importance of knowledge. Perplexed, Naruto wondered how reading could make him stronger. Sensing his confusion, Hiruzen posed a question, think about it for a second, Naruto-kun. Why do you think I am referred to as the professor? After pondering for a while, Naruto arrived at the answer. Because you pretty much know all the jutsus in Konoha, he replied. Hiruzen nodded, pleased with Naruto's understanding. Exactly. Well, technically yes. But some of the jutsus I know are not common knowledge. They were made available to me when I became the Hokage. However, that's beside the point. The main idea is that knowledge is a powerful weapon. It is a real strength to put that knowledge to good use, Hiruzen emphasized. Realizing the significance of his mentor's words, Naruto reluctantly agreed, saying, I see. Well, alright then. I'll head to the library tomorrow. Will I be allowed there? Now that you're a shinobi of this village, you're granted access to sections of the library that were previously restricted to civilians. However, your access will be limited to the rank of genin for now. Certain areas will still be off limits to you, Asuma explained to Naruto. He was pleased to see that Naruto understood the situation without any need for further clarification. Asuma couldn't help but feel proud of Naruto's growth. I'll inform the library about your arrival tomorrow, so there's no need to worry. Just go there, and they'll take care of everything, Asuma assured Naruto. Thanks, Hokage Gigi. Naruto expressed his gratitude, reaching out to hug Hiruzen from his bed. The Hokage returned the gesture, patting Naruto's head affectionately. It's my pleasure, Naruto-kun. But for now, I must take my leave as I have other responsibilities to attend to, Hiruzen said as he departed, leaving Naruto to his own devices. Later that night at Naruto's room, Naruto lay on his bed, his recent dinner settling in his stomach. Contemplation washed over him as he pondered his plans for tomorrow's visit to the library. If he was going to delve into the books, he wanted to find something that not only captured his interest but also aligned with his personal style. His thoughts were abruptly interrupted when the door to his room swung open, revealing his sensei and teammates standing in the doorway. Asuma sensei. Ino. Shino. What brings you guys here? He asked, curiosity lacing his voice. We came to pay you a visit, obviously. Shino and I barely had the chance to see you since we were recovering at home as well, Ino replied, a touch of playfulness in her tone. Are you both alright, though? Naruto inquired, concern seeping into his words. Yeah, we're fine. The real question is if you're alright, Ino emphasized. Among the three of us, you took the most beatings, she added, hinting at his recent battles. I'm doing better, thanks for asking, Ino. Naruto assured her, gratitude coloring his response. We brought you something, and if we're not mistaken, it happens to be your favorite. Miso, Shino began, only to be interrupted by Naruto's enthusiastic outburst. Miso char shao, Naruto exclaimed, his love for the dish evident in his voice. Shino didn't mind the interruption and continued without objection. Yes, it was Ino's idea to get you ramen, Shino concluded, with Ino chiming in. Really, Ino, you did this for me. And you remembered my favorite. Naruto's voice exuded surprise and appreciation. Yeah, how could I forget? You never stop talking about it, she teased, a playful jab directed at him. Ha, just like you and your endless Sasuke talk, hee. Naruto retorted, a mischievous glint in his eyes. I do not talk about Sasuke-kun all the time. Oh, you do. I don't. You do. I don't. You do. I don't. Naruto's sensei, Asuma, interjected with a sigh, noting their spirited banter. Seems like you're already better, already bickering with Ino even before being discharged from the hospital, he remarked, his tone laced with amusement. Naruto sighed, deciding to let go of the argument. This means a lot to me, he expressed his gratitude sincerely. Don't mention it, Ino replied, her voice carrying a hint of warmth and genuine care. While conversing with Naruto, Ino's gaze wandered around his room, and her eyes landed on a tray with plates and utensils. It became apparent to her that Naruto had recently finished his dinner. Curiosity getting the better of her, she couldn't resist asking, did you already have dinner by any chance? In response, Asuma and Shino's attention was drawn to the same tray Ino had noticed. Yeah, I did. Why? Naruto inquired, puzzled by the sudden interest. Are you sure you have room for more? Ino questioned, raising an eyebrow. I always have room for ramen. Datbayo, Naruto proclaimed, a mischievous foxy grin spreading across his face. Ino rolled her eyes playfully, while Asuma couldn't help but chuckle softly. As for Shino, he remained his usual quiet self, observing the exchange without a word. Well, we should get going now, it's getting late. See you tomorrow, Naruto, Ino bid her farewell. Shino, on the other hand, chose not to speak further but nodded in Naruto's direction before leaving alongside Ino. Now, only Asuma remained with Naruto in the room. And what about you, Asuma-sensei? What brings you here? Naruto inquired, curiosity lacing his words. I'm here to talk to you about something. Remember when I asked you to dispel your clones? Asuma reminded him. Oh yeah, you mentioned that you would explain it another time, Naruto recalled. Exactly, Let's talk about the difference between a clone and a shadow clone first, Asuma began, his voice carrying a weight of importance and attentiveness. Naruto's excitement grew as he eagerly awaited his sensei's explanation. A regular clone is just an illusion, for diversions or decoys and stuff. However, a shadow clone is far more useful. It has all the abilities of a regular clone, and more. Now, tell me, Naruto, why do you think not all of people know the Kage Bunshin no Jutsu, shadow clone technique? I honestly don't know, Asuma-sensei. Naruto admitted, his curiosity piqued. The technique isn't used a lot because it's risky for the user. When you create a shadow clone, your chakra is evenly divided among all the clones you make. If you make one clone, your chakra is split in half. Create 10 clones, and your chakra is divided into 10 portions. Make 50, and your chakra becomes stretched thin, spreading enough chakra to each clone. And so on. But what's the danger of depleting your chakra reserves? Asuma asked, his voice carrying a tone of inquiry. Chakra exhaustion, Naruto offered, catching on. Exactly. If you create more clones than you can handle, there's a high chance of either success or death due to chakra depletion. If you succeed, you'll be left weakened, with the clones sharing the same limited chakra as you. If you fail, you're dead. That's why the technique isn't used by a lot. Only those with high chakra reserves or those who know how to utilize the jutsu properly are aware of its existence, Asuma explained, shedding light on the forbidden nature of the technique. But what does this have to do with me dispelling my clones back then? Naruto asked, eager to understand the connection. I'm getting there. What makes a shadow clone really valuable goes deeper. It's the information it gathers, Asuma continued. Information? Naruto questioned, his interest intensifying. Remember when you sent a clone to follow those 3 missions nins? And you didn't know where your clone went. When you dispelled all your clones, their memories merged with yours. So if you dispel them, their memories becomes yours, Asuma elaborated, highlighting the additional utility of the jutsu. A realization dawned upon Naruto as Asuma's words sank in. Holy crap! That's awesome! He exclaimed, his excitement uncontainable. It is, Asuma acknowledged, sharing in Naruto's enthusiasm. But wait, if I get the information gathered by my clones once I dispel them, then maybe I can use this when I go to the library tomorrow. Naruto suggested, his mind racing with possibilities. In theory, that could work, but there's a catch. Overusing it isn't good for your brain. If you create, let's say, 5 clones and have them read 5 different books, that's not an issue. But, if you create 100 or so clones and dispel them all at once, a flood of information rushes into your mind. It can cause you to lose consciousness or even result in brain damage, which is something you definitely want to avoid, Asuma cautioned, concerned for Naruto's well-being. Oh, I see. Then I guess I'll just create a few clones here and there and learn some valuable techniques, Naruto contemplated, adjusting his plan accordingly. And there's one more thing to understand. The difference between grasping a concept and developing muscle memory, Asuma continued, delving deeper into his explanation. I don't get it, Naruto asked, seeking clarification. Let's say you make your clones practice a particular move you discover in the library. While you'll learn the steps and understand the technique, you won't instantly be able to do it flawlessly. Actually doing it is a different matter, you'll need to practice it yourself. Ever notice that when your clones get injured, you don't feel any pain? Yeah, now that you mention it, they take hits and I don't feel a thing, Naruto affirmed, recalling past experiences. Exactly. Physical training works differently. While you can use clones to train on your own, it's ultimately you who needs to practice and refine the techniques, Asuma clarified. I see. But why are you telling me this, Asuma-sensei? I'm telling you this because I see great potential in you, kid. And I want you to take advantage of it. Pretty sure the Hokage already told you to go to the library to become stronger, yeah. I just wanted to speed up the entire process, and make sure you won't hurt yourself. And in the long run, it'll benefit you. Consider it like killing two birds with one stone, Asuma explained, revealing his intentions. Thanks, Asuma-sensei. Naruto expressed his gratitude sincerely. Don't mention it, glad I could help, Asuma responded warmly. He then placed a cigarette between his lips and bid Naruto farewell. Anyway, you should rest now so you can leave the hospital tomorrow. Take care, Naruto, he said, waving goodbye before departing from the room. On the way to Konoha's library. Once Naruto was finally discharged from the hospital, he wasted no time and headed straight to the Konoha Archive Library. It was his first visit, as he had never been particularly interested in reading before. However, if reading would make him stronger, he was willing to dive into every book available. Although Hokage-sama had assured him that he had nothing to worry about, Naruto couldn't help but feel anxious about being allowed into the library. He had often faced rejection and mistreatment from people, starting from his childhood. This ingrained fear lingered in his mind, making him apprehensive about being chased out of yet another place. As he reached the entrance of the Konoha Archive Library, Naruto gazed at the building. It had a slightly worn-out appearance, but it was still in decent shape. Gathering his courage, he pushed open the door and entered, revealing rows upon rows of bookshelves overflowing with books. Oh, you must be Uzumaki-san. Hokage-sama informed me that a blonde-haired boy with whisker marks would be coming here. I'm Amada Keiji, and it's a pleasure to meet you, Uzumaki-san. A friendly voice greeted him. Good morning, Keiji-san. Nice to meet you too. Naruto responded, relieved to encounter a welcoming face. How can I assist you today? Keiji inquired with a smile. I'm looking for books or scrolls that contain jutsus, though I'm not sure which type exactly. Naruto replied, his excitement evident. I see. Well then, follow me, Uzumaki-san. I know just where to find them. Keiji offered, leading the way. Naruto followed Keiji deeper into the library. The building seemed relatively empty, with a few scattered individuals, some civilians and other shinobi, browsing through the shelves. Naruto had expected the library to be filled with dust, but to his surprise, it was well maintained. After a short walk, they arrived at the section that catered to Naruto's needs. It housed an array of ninja arts, encompassing taijutsu, ninjutsu, genjutsu, and more. This particular section was accessible to genin-ranked individuals. Here we are, Uzumaki-san. Feel free to explore these resources. Just remember to handle them with care and return them properly. If you have any questions, you can find me in the lobby. I hope you find something valuable in there, Uzumaki-san, Keiji informed him, wearing a friendly smile before taking his leave. Okay, Naruto, you've got this, Naruto encouraged himself. He instinctively almost blurted out, Kage Bunshin no Jutsu, shadow clone technique, aloud but caught himself just in time, remembering the library's silence rule. Creating a dozen clones to assist him in his search for useful scrolls, Naruto reminded them to behave appropriately, to which they all nodded in agreement. Alright, guys, spread out and find anything that might be useful. Let's regroup in an hour, and remember, stay quiet. We don't want to get kicked out, Naruto instructed his clones, as he embarked on his own quest to find materials he could benefit from. With the original Naruto, Naruto pondered over his choices, wondering what he should prioritize reading. He felt a bit overwhelmed, not knowing exactly what he was looking for among the countless books and scrolls in front of him. What to read? What to read? Naruto contemplated aloud. He realized that he should focus on areas where he lacked skills or needed improvement. With this in mind, he came up with an idea. Returning to Keiji, Naruto politely asked for a pen and several sheets of paper, which were readily provided to him. Sitting down at a nearby table, Naruto placed the papers in front of him and began making a list of the things he felt he needed to work on. Let's see, I did get my ass beat once again because I wasn't able to grapple the guy properly. Guess I'll add this to the list, Naruto muttered to himself as he wrote down, way to grapple enemies, on the top of the list. I also want to learn how to use weapons. There must be some books in here about that, he thought, adding weapons to the list. As Naruto continued to reflect on the words of his past adversary, they resonated deeply within him. He couldn't deny the truth in those taunts. It was a painful realization that he had been relying on the same jutsu, the Kage Bunshin no Jutsu, shadow clone technique, as his primary skill in battles. I suppose it's true. It's all I know, Naruto admitted to himself, a tinge of disappointment in his voice. He understood that being a one-trick pony wouldn't take him far in the shinobi world. To become a well-rounded and formidable ninja, he needed to broaden his abilities and expand his knowledge. Determined to overcome this limitation, Naruto became even more motivated to find ways to diversify his skill set. He knew he had to take full advantage of the resources available to him in the library and seek out techniques that could complement his existing abilities. I need to learn more, Naruto resolved, his determination shining through. With a renewed sense of purpose, he focused his attention on the task at hand, eager to discover new avenues of growth and become a stronger ninja. Naruto felt a sense of satisfaction as he continued to add more items to his list. He understood that acknowledging his shortcomings and identifying areas for improvement was an essential step toward growth. As Naruto brainstormed, he kept writing down the skills and techniques he believed he needed to focus on. His determination to become a better shinobi fueled his motivation to explore and learn from the resources available in the library. An hour later, all right, you guys, let's see what you got, Naruto instructed his clones. All the books and scrolls they had collected were laid out on a table before him. Naruto let out a sigh at the sight of the pile. This was the price he had to pay for seeking knowledge, and he wasn't sure if he had the willpower to go through with it. Naruto began to go through each item, checking to see if it was useful for him. If he found something valuable, he set it aside. If not, he returned it to his clones so they could put it back where they found it. Water Ninjutsu, the art of flowing water, Naruto read the title aloud. He pondered for a moment. Do we even know what do you call it again? Chakra nature. That's it. Do we even know what it is? He asked his clones, who simply shrugged and shook their heads. Welp, can't use this then. Maybe another time, Naruto remarked as he handed the book back to one of his clones. Naruto continued his search, going through book after book. Then, he came across Nebiken, Sticky Fist, The Art of the Grappler Volume 1, and his eyes widened. This was exactly what he had been looking for, a way to supplement his fighting style. He realized he was starting to enjoy his visit to the library, contrary to his initial expectations. He set the book aside, keeping it for later reading. Hours passed, and there was a peculiar discovery among the pile, a ramen cookbook. What the heck is this? Who brought it? Naruto asked his clones. I did, one of his clones proudly admitted. And you found this in the jutsu section? Naruto asked, raising an eyebrow at his clone. Of course not. I found it somewhere else. Duh, the clone replied confidently. Naruto's confusion deepened. Then why did you bring it here? He asked, trying to make sense of his clone's decision. We can't be strong on an empty stomach, can we? The clone argued. The other clones nodded in agreement, murmuring their support. Naruto let out a sigh but couldn't help but see the point his clone was making. After all, they couldn't neglect their nourishment. He decided to keep the cookbook and read it later, which brought a smile to the faces of his clones. Naruto was nearing the end of his search as he approached the last two books, Fuinjutsu, The Art of Sealing, for Beginners, and Advanced Fuinjutsu, MN. He checked the contents of the books to see if they were suitable for him. One was within his rank's scope, while the other was too complex for his current understanding. Return this to where you found it, we can't use it right now. It seems to be for high chunin and above. Naruto instructed his clone as he handed the book back. With the gathering complete, it was now time for Naruto to actually start reading. He let out another sigh, fully realizing the challenges and sacrifices that came with seeking knowledge. At the 7th training grounds. It was a peaceful Saturday in Konoha, and while most people were enjoying a relaxed day, Naruto could be found training vigorously with his clones at the 7th training grounds. They had been engaged in combat for the past 5 hours, and exhaustion was starting to show on their faces. Facing off against 3 clones, Naruto patiently awaited their next move. The tension was palpable as he locked eyes with his copies, a bead of sweat trickling down his forehead. Suddenly, clone number 1 made a move, rushing towards Naruto with a clenched fist. With that, the other 2 clones followed suit. As clone number 1 leapt into the air, Naruto concentrated intensely, using a technique he had been practicing. With a quick sidestep, he evaded the clone's attack, causing it to stumble and fall to the ground. Clone number 2 then attempted a spinning kick instead, but Naruto concentrated his chakra into his palms, making them sticky. As clone number 2's leg connected with his palm, it stuck, and Naruto seized the opportunity. He grabbed his opponent's leg, swung him around, and hurled him at clone number 3, sending both clones crashing to the ground. Clone number 1 quickly recovered and tried to attack from behind, but Naruto swiftly ducked and performed a sweeping kick, causing the clone to lose balance and fall. Clone number 2, undeterred, clenched its fist and lunged at Naruto. In midair, Naruto countered with a powerful back kick, landing it on the clone's abdomen. Applying chakra to his feet, Naruto hoped to connect with his technique, and to his surprise, it succeeded once again. With all his strength, Naruto executed a flip in the air and slammed the clone into the ground. The impact caused the clone to bounce, and Naruto swiftly punched it towards clone number 3. Observing the scene, Naruto realized that the first clone was missing. Suddenly, the ground cracked beneath him, and clone number 1 launched from the ground, delivering a successful uppercut to Naruto's chin. The force sent Naruto flying, and as he skidded across the dirt, he tasted the metallic tang of blood in his mouth, having inadvertently bitten his lip during the impact. Naruto stood back up, dusting himself off, feeling a sense of satisfaction despite his aching body. He had failed 28 times but succeeded twice, resulting in a streak of 28-2. It wasn't a bad record for someone who struggled with chakra control. That was way harder than I thought, the original Naruto remarked. Well, yeah, Asuma-sensei told us that we have to practice it ourselves to actually learn it, clone number 1 replied. Yeah, I'm starting to get the hang of it, though I still need to work on my technique. Question. Naruto said. Clone number 2 inquired. Have we ever been taught how to walk on trees and all that stuff? Naruto asked, curious about his previous training. I don't think so, although if I remember correctly, this Nebiken, sticky fist, technique is similar. Clone number 2 responded, trying to recall their past experiences. I see. I guess I'll ask Asuma-sensei to teach me then, Naruto decided, determined to expand his skills. That sounds good, Datbeo. Clone number 3 chimed in, showing support for Naruto's plan. Thanks, me's. Or is it eyes? Naruto pondered, unsure of the appropriate term. I don't know. What makes you think we have the answer? Clone number 1 questioned, raising an eyebrow at Naruto's self-reflection. Well, I suppose I'm thanking myself. So, I guess it's me's, then. Naruto reasoned, attempting to find a suitable term. Why not? Clone number 2 suggested, considering the grammatical options. I'm confused. Clone number 1 admitted, finding the conversation perplexing. Me too. Same. Clone number 2 and clone number 3 chimed in, expressing their shared confusion. You know what? Forget it. Good job to all of us. Problem solved. Naruto concluded with a smile, opting to let go of the linguistic puzzle. Feeling satisfied with their training session, Naruto dispersed his clones and gathered his belongings near a tree. Among his things were the books and scrolls he had borrowed from the archives earlier. He carefully gathered everything, making sure not to forget any of the materials he had selected. With hunger gnawing at his stomach, Naruto realized it was almost lunchtime. He had been training since 6 in the morning, and it was now around 11:30 before noon. His body ached, but he knew he needed to refuel before continuing with his day. Leaving the training grounds behind, Naruto set off in search of a place to grab a well-deserved lunch. He craved a hearty meal to replenish his energy and satisfy his hunger, but we all know where he'll be heading to. At Ichiraku Ramen. As Naruto savored his beloved ramen, he found himself engrossed in the scrolls he had borrowed from the archives. He carefully balanced the delicate art of reading and eating, ensuring not to spill any broth on the precious documents. Ayame, the kind-hearted ramen stand attendant, noticed Naruto's intense focus and couldn't help but be curious. She approached him with a warm smile, genuinely interested in his reading material. "What you reading there, Naruto-kun?" Ayame inquired, her eyes sparkling with curiosity. Naruto's face lit up with excitement as he eagerly shared his newfound knowledge. "Oh, Ayame-ni-chan, check it out. I borrowed this awesome scroll from the archives. It's called Nebiken, The Art of Grappling, by Mihara Kenshi. Basically, the technique involves using chakra to make my body stick to my opponent's body, like tree walking or water walking. It's all about preventing them from getting away while I beat the crap out of them." Ayame listened attentively, genuinely intrigued by Naruto's pursuit of strength. "Wow, that's quite intimidating, Naruto-kun. Though how's your progress coming along?" Naruto let out a sigh, momentarily overshadowed by his previous failures. "Well, if you consider failing 28 times and succeeding only twice as progress, then yeah, it's coming along just fine. It's just frustrating, you know." Ayame's eyes softened with empathy as she shared her own experience. "Cheer up, Naruto-kun. Just keep working on it, and you'll eventually get it. Remember, everyone starts somewhere. Take me as an example, even I struggled when learning to serve ramen properly. But with persistence and practice, I eventually mastered it. So trust me, you'll get there too." Tyuki, the wise and experienced ramen chef, joined in on the light-hearted conversation. He interjected with a playful comment, teasing Ayame about her claim of being a ramen pro. "Ha, you're 100 years too early to call yourself a ramen master, my dear daughter," Tyuki chuckled, adding a touch of fatherly affection to his words. "Whatever you say, Dad," Ayame replied, her tone filled with affectionate exasperation. The playful exchange between Ayame and Tyuki continued to amuse Naruto, and he couldn't help but burst into laughter. Naruto found solace in Ayame's encouraging words. He realized that setbacks were an integral part of the learning process. With renewed determination, he resolved to focus on his small successes and keep striving for improvement. "You're right, Ayame-ni-chan. Thanks for the advice. Appreciate it." Naruto expressed his gratitude sincerely. Ayame smiled warmly at him, genuinely pleased to be of help. Curiosity piqued, she shifted the conversation to Naruto's life as a genin. "By the way, how's being a genin treating you so far, Naruto-kun?" she asked, genuinely interested. Naruto paused, his thoughts introspective as he considered the question. It's tiring, that's for sure, but I'll get the hang of it." Ayame nodded, appreciating Naruto's growth and newfound perspective. "That's good to know, Naruto-kun." As the conversation continued, Ayame couldn't resist teasing Naruto about his relationship with Ino, one of their mutual friends. "Speaking of genin, where's your girlfriend?" Ayame playfully inquired. Startled, Naruto vehemently denied the accusation. "Girlfriend? Ino? She's not my girlfriend." Ayame couldn't help but tease him further, mischievously prodding at his emotions. "Since when did I say Ino was your girlfriend? You're the one who brought up her name. It seems like you do like her, huh?" Caught off guard, Naruto's cheeks flushed bright red. I mean, well, she's pretty." Ayame laughed, enjoying Naruto's flustered reaction. "See, you do like her. In that case, she can be your girlfriend." Ah, our little Naruto is growing up so fast. She joked, pretending to shed. I swear she's not. And besides, I already like someone else, Naruto pleaded, his voice filled with earnestness. Ayame arched an eyebrow, a mischievous glint in her eyes. You mean the girl with the pink hair? What was her name again? She asked, feigning forgetfulness. Naruto's face flushed slightly as he confirmed, her name is Sakura. Ah, that's it. But what about her do you like? Ayame prodded, genuinely curious. Naruto paused, his thoughts gathering as he searched for an answer. After a moment of contemplation, he found himself struggling to provide a concrete response. I dunno. I guess I like her long hair, and the fact that it's pink. Naruto replied, his uncertainty evident. Ayame raised an eyebrow, pressing further. You guess. So, you're not sure. And even if you are sure, is that all? Are those two things the sole reasons why you like Sakura so much? Naruto was taken aback by Ayame's questions, his brows furrowing in confusion. I'm not sure what you're getting at, Ayame-nichan. Why all the questions? Nothing much really. Just curious, haha. But doesn't Ino also have long hair? Though hers is blonde. Ayame added, a playful twinkle in her eyes. Naruto nodded in agreement, confirming, she does. Ayame's mischievous smile grew wider as she continued, does that mean you like Ino too? Naruto's eyes widened, caught off guard by Ayame's line of questioning. He stammered in surprise, what? Where are all these questions coming from, Ayame-nichan? Seriously. Ayame chuckled, her laughter dancing in the air. I'm just teasing you, Naruto-kun. But be honest, do you like her? Naruto's confusion lingered, his gaze searching for clarity. What do you mean? Ayame leaned in, her eyes locking with Naruto's. That was the question, Naruto. Do you like her? Naruto pondered her words, realizing there was more depth to Ayame's inquiry than he initially thought. Well, yeah, she's my teammate. Ayame gently interrupted, encouraging Naruto to delve deeper. But what if she wasn't your teammate? Would you still like her? Naruto hesitated, contemplating the hypothetical scenario. I guess so. Even though we argue and bicker, I still think she's alright. Ayame nodded, satisfied with Naruto's response. I see. Anyway, just leave the bowl here when you're done. I'll be washing the dishes now, she said, shifting the conversation away from their playful banter. Naruto finished his ramen quickly, leaving the bowl as Ayame had requested. With his hunger satiated and thoughts swirling in his mind, he decided to take a moment to rest and gather his energy before resuming his training. At the Hokage's office, Hiruzen sat at his desk, the weight of paperwork bearing down on him as he diligently worked through the stack. Despite it being a Saturday, the duties of the Hokage never seemed to rest. Hiruzen often found himself wondering how the fourth Hokage, Minato Namikaze, managed to complete his paperwork so efficiently. As the years went by, the burden seemed to grow heavier, and Hiruzen felt his age catching up with him. Lost in his thoughts, Hiruzen was interrupted by a polite knock on his office door. You may enter, he called out, his voice carrying a tinge of weariness. The door opened, revealing a Chunin holding a scroll in his hands. It was Natori, one of Hiruzen's trusted subordinates. Hokage-sama, we have received a letter from the case cage just now, Natori informed him, offering the scroll respectfully. Hiruzen nodded, accepting the scroll from Natori. Thank you for bringing it here, Natori. And what about the team we sent to patrol the border? Have you received any updates from them? He inquired, concern lacing his voice. We have yet to receive any communication from them, Hokage-sama. However, if we do, I will immediately inform you, Natori replied, his tone earnest and respectful. Very well. Your vigilance is appreciated. You are dismissed, Hiruzen said, acknowledging Natori's dedication. With a bow, Natori exited the office, leaving Hiruzen to focus on the scroll before him. Hiruzen carefully unrolled the message, revealing its contents, an important correspondence regarding the upcoming Chunin exams and other related matters. It was that time of the year again, as the Chunin exams were traditionally held in the month of July. Hiruzen had previously discussed the logistics with the Kazekage, as the hosting duties alternated between Konohagakure and Sunagakure. Last year's exams had taken place in the Hidden Sand Village, so it was only fitting for Konohagakure to host the exams this year. With a sense of duty and purpose, Hiruzen dipped his quill in ink and began composing a response to the Kazekage's message, carefully addressing the details and confirming Konohagakure's readiness to host the prestigious event. The letter. Dear Kazekage Dono, I wish this message finds you well. I would also like you to know that I'm pleased to hear from you. In terms of the venue for the upcoming Chunin exams, I believe it is only fair to host the exams here in Konoha this year due to the fact that it was held in Suna previously. I shall be using the entire month of June to prepare for the exams, which range from the tests, proctors, as well as accommodations for those who will participate. With regards to the other villages we have invited, I am delighted to inform you that the following villages have accepted our invitation to join our joint Chunin exams. Takigakure, Hidden Waterfall Village. Kusagakure, Hidden Grass Village. Amegakure, Hidden Rain Village. Otogakure, Hidden Sound Village. Apparently, there is an up-and-coming village in Ta no Kuni, Land of Rice Fields. Little is known about them, for I have yet to talk to any officials in their village, but that is a subject for a different time. That is all I have to say, and we are looking forward to having your village here. Respectfully, Hiruzen Sarutobi, Hokage. Hiruzen finished writing his response to the Kazekage's letter, setting it aside for a moment as he turned his attention to other pressing matters. He selected another file from the pile of paperwork before him, realizing that he had been toiling away for hours with seemingly little progress. A deep sigh escaped his lips as he took a puff from his pipe, seeking a brief respite from the mounting responsibilities. Opening the file, he discovered that it contained a missing person report. The influx of missing cases, both among civilians and shinobi, had caught Hiruzen's attention. He had an uncanny sense that something was amiss, but couldn't quite put his finger on it. Such occurrences didn't happen without reason, and with his years of experience, Hiruzen knew better than to dismiss them as mere coincidence. He yearned to uncover the truth, to delve deeper into the matter, but his hands were tied. The approaching Chunin exams and his numerous village obligations left him with little room to personally investigate. Though he considered dispatching a team to look into the issue, he realized that manpower was stretched thin. Multiple teams were already engaged in missions, while others were occupied with their own duties, teaching students, managing various departments, and more. Hiruzen sighed once more, having lost count of how many times he had done so. I truly need to find a successor as soon as possible, he contemplated silently. The weight of being Hokage had become burdensome, surpassing what he could handle in his advanced age. While he remained the strongest ninja in the village, the administrative responsibilities had become overwhelming. Hiruzen longed for retirement, to savor the remaining time he had in the world. He understood better than anyone that his mortal life had an expiration date, and death held no fear for him. He had accepted that inevitability long ago. Lost in his musings, Hiruzen's thoughts wandered through the significant events of his life, the days in the academy, his training under the guidance of the first and second Hokage, his graduation, marriage, and countless memories. Suddenly, it struck him, recollection of one of his former students, one of the legendary Sannin. It seemed like a fortuitous opportunity to address two concerns simultaneously. Hiruzen reached for another clean scroll, ready to compose a letter to his former student. Once satisfied with his words, he sealed the letter and placed it alongside the previously written scroll. Just as he finished, a knock on the door signaled someone seeking entrance. Hiruzen granted permission to enter, and a young woman, one of his assistants, stepped into his office. Good afternoon, Hokage-sama. I've brought your lunch. Is there anything else you need assistance with? She asked politely. Good afternoon to you too, Kimiko-chan. Thank you for bringing me food. I was beginning to feel a bit peckish. And yes, There is something you can help me with. Kindly take these 2 letters to our aviary. I want them prioritized as they are of utmost urgency. Here is an instructed, handing over the scrolls to Kimiko. She placed the tray of food on his desk, accepting the scrolls with a nod. Of course, Hokage-sama. I'll deliver them promptly. I'll also bring back the copies of the paperwork that were, well, burned earlier this morning. I must request that you refrain from using fire jutsus on your paperwork, Hokage-sama, Kimiko advised with a gentle smile. Hiruzen chuckled at the reminder. Earlier that morning, he had resorted to using a fire jutsu to incinerate some of the paperwork, a release of pent-up stress. Later that night, Naruto sat in his apartment, enjoying his dinner of ramen while engrossed in reading the scroll about Nebiken. The fighting style fascinated him, particularly because he discovered that the creator shared a similar approach to combat. Reflecting on his time at the academy, Naruto admitted that he never fully resonated with the standard fighting style they taught. While he acknowledged its usefulness, he always found himself naturally gravitating towards a more up-close and personal approach in his spars. It was akin to grappling, a style that felt more instinctual to him. Reading the author's notes in the scroll, Naruto learned that Mihara Kenshi, the creator of Nebiken, also faced challenges when it came to restraining opponents. One day, the idea of combining chakra control with his fighting style struck him, leading to the birth of Nebiken, the art of grappling. Rolling up the scroll and setting it aside with the others he had borrowed, Naruto's attention was drawn to another book lent to him by the archives. Its title read, Fuinjutsu, the Art of Sealing, for Beginners. However, it wasn't the title that caught his eye but the spiral symbol adorning the book cover, similar to the one on the back of his own clothes. Naruto shrugged, assuming it was merely a coincidence. After all, the spiral symbol could be found on the flak jackets worn by both Chunin and Junin. Curiosity piqued, he flipped open the book, only to find the first page partially torn at the bottom. The author's name was missing, but the preface remained, beckoning Naruto to delve into the world of sealing. Preface. To the reader of this book, greetings. It is so nice to see someone pick up an interest in Fuinjutsu, the art of sealing is rare after all. In this book, I will be teaching you the basics of sealing. Despite being labeled for beginners, I would like to establish that the learning process won't be easy. So, if you don't get right away, do not be discouraged, for mastering even the basics of Fuinjutsu takes time, much like anything else. Think of it as a flower. In order for it to bloom to its fullest potential, one must tend to it patiently. That is all I have to say to you, dear reader, and I hope once you finished reading this book, I was able to teach you a thing or two. Good luck in your education, dear reader. Naruto thought that the author was nice. He flipped to the next page containing the history of Fuinjutsu, what Fuinjutsu is, and many more information regarding the art. It seemed that Naruto was hooked on the book as he kept on reading throughout the night. Somewhere in Ta no Kuni, land of rice fields. In a secluded room shrouded in darkness, the air thick with an eerie stillness, 2 figures engaged in a clandestine conversation. The faint flickering of a dimly lit candle cast distorted shadows upon the walls, heightening the atmosphere of secrecy and malevolence. You wanted to see me, my lord? A voice spoke with a hushed tone, filled with a mix of deference and anticipation. The second voice, deeper and more commanding, responded with a chilling presence, yes, brief me about our progress. How is everything proceeding? We're halfway there, my lord, the first voice replied, its undertones laced with a sense of satisfaction. Though I'd like to note that if we maintain this consistent pace, we will be finished in no time. A sense of sinister satisfaction seeped through the room as the second voice contemplated the information. It carried a foreboding tone that sent shivers down the spine. Very well then, the second voice finally responded, a hint of anticipation lingering in its words. Be sure to update me on our progress. The room remained silent, save for the faint whispers of unseen shadows that seemed to dance along the edges of perception. The atmosphere grew even more chilling, as if the very walls themselves held secrets and malevolent intent. Is that all? The second voice asked, its tone betraying a sense of impatience, an insatiable hunger for destruction. Yes, my lord, the first voice confirmed, its subservient tone laced with a mix of fear and loyalty. Then you are dismissed, the second voice commanded, and the figure slowly retreated from the room, leaving the darkness to consume them once more. As the door closed, the room plunged into an even deeper gloom. In the solitude of the chamber, the second voice spoke softly, its words carrying an ominous weight. I shall bring upon the destruction of Konoha, it hissed, its whispered vow echoing through the stillness, a chilling promise that hung in the air, a harbinger of impending doom. In the secluded room, barely lit and cloaked in a haunting ambiance, a malevolent presence plotted in the shadows, laying the groundwork for a sinister plan that threatened to unravel the very fabric of Konoha. Under the clear sky with scattered clouds and a gentle breeze rustling through the trees, Naruto couldn't contain his excitement as he talked to Ino and Shino. They had gathered outside, enjoying a rare day off from their ninja duties. I can't wait to show Asuma-sensei what I've learned lately. I'm feeling confident I won't get my ass handed to me this time, Datbeo. Naruto exclaimed, a determined glint in his eyes. Ino, always the voice of reason, offered a word of caution. Don't get carried away, Naruto. Asuma-sensei might make you eat your own words. Naruto shrugged, a wide grin spreading across his face. I guess that could also happen. Oh well, I do still need to work on some of the kinks though, he admitted, reaching into his bag to retrieve a book. Ino couldn't help but be surprised at the sight of Naruto reading. In their time at the academy, she had never seen him pick up a book before. She rubbed her temples, wondering if her eyes were playing tricks on her. Since when did you start reading, Naruto? You sure you're alright? Ino asked, genuinely curious. It's been about a week now, I think. Why? And yes, I'm fine, Naruto replied nonchalantly, flipping through the pages of the book. Nothing. I honestly didn't think you were the reading type, Ino admitted, her astonishment evident in her voice. Neither did I, Naruto chuckled. But hey, I gave it a shot and I'm glad I did. Fair enough. Where is Shino though? Ino inquired, scanning their surroundings. No clue, he must be handling something. Pretty sure he'll be here soon enough, I hope. Naruto replied, his gaze wandering. Just as the words left Naruto's lips, Shino's monotone voice broke the silence. Sorry for being late. I must have overslept. The suddenness of Shino's unexpected arrival startled both Naruto and Ino, causing them to jump in surprise. For Kami's sake, don't scare us like that, man. Naruto exclaimed, his heart still racing from the sudden appearance of Shino. Oh, I did not realize I scared the two of you. I apologize, Shino replied in his usual monotone manner. It's alright, but man, we should seriously consider getting you a bell or something. Naruto remarked with a half-joking tone. Ino sighed and rolled her eyes as a response which Naruto noticed. Naruto scratched his head sheepishly. I was just kidding, Ino. Sorry about that, Shino. I guess that joke was in poor taste. Why are you apologizing? I thought it was funny. I enjoy humor from time to time. Shino retorted, maintaining his monotone voice. Naruto and Ino exchanged puzzled glances. Humor? Huh, you don't say. Naruto responded with a hint of skepticism. Ino shifted the conversation. So, how's your day off, guys? Anything interesting? Well, I did some training here and there, and I read some scrolls and books last night. Oh, and I grabbed lunch at Ikira. Naruto's voice trailed off as his mind drifted, remembering something that had happened the previous day. Flashback. Ayame nodded, appreciating Naruto's growth and newfound perspective. That's good to know, Naruto-kun. As the conversation continued, Ayame couldn't resist teasing Naruto about his relationship with Ino, one of their mutual friends. Speaking of Genin, where's your girlfriend? Ayame playfully inquired. Startled, Naruto vehemently denied the accusation. Girlfriend? Ino. She's not my girlfriend. Ayame couldn't help but tease him further, mischievously prodding at his emotions. Since when did I say Ino was your girlfriend? You're the one who brought up her name. It seems like you do like her, huh? Caught off guard, Naruto's cheeks flushed bright red. I mean, well, she's pretty. Ayame laughed, enjoying Naruto's flustered reaction. See, you do like her. In that case, she can be your girlfriend. Ah, our little Naruto is growing up so fast. She joked, pretending to shed. I swear she's not. And besides, I already like someone else, Naruto pleaded, his voice filled with earnestness. End of flashback. Ino glanced at Naruto, her eyes narrowing in suspicion. Konoha to Naruto, you there? Hello. It seems his brain must have been fried with all that reading, she remarked, a hint of teasing in her voice. Shino chimed in with his usual monotone, perhaps he still hasn't fully recovered from his injuries. Ino raised an eyebrow. Think it's brain damage. Shino contemplated for a moment before responding, possibly. Naruto snapped out of his daze, his face still flushed from embarrassment. Huh, what were you saying, Ino? He asked, trying to regain his composure. Ino smirked, teasing him further. Oh, good, you're back. We thought for a second there that you had brain damage, or maybe you already have brain damage, who knows? Naruto huffed, feeling defensive. I'm fine, I just remembered something, that's all. And no, I don't have brain damage, Ino. Ino let the topic go and shifted her attention to Shino. She found it easier to talk to Naruto than Shino, not knowing how to engage him in conversation. Despite being teammates for about a month, Shino remained a mystery to her. Hey, Shino, Ino began, trying to strike up a conversation. What did you do during your day off? Come to think of it, I simply ran errands and tended to my bugs. Shino replied in his usual calm tone. That's it. Ino raised an eyebrow, hoping for more insight into Shino's interests. What do you mean? Shino questioned, his expression unchanging. Ino felt a pang of frustration, realizing it was challenging to connect with Shino. However, she was determined to get to know him better as a teammate. I've always wondered where you keep your bugs all the time, Ino commented, her voice slightly trembling at the thought. Naruto shivered alongside her, equally uncomfortable with the idea of tiny insects crawling over them. I keep them inside my clothes, Shino replied, though he lied to spare his teammates from the truth. He knew that revealing the truth about his bugs would likely cause them to freak out. Both blondes shuddered involuntarily, their skin crawling as if imaginary insects were crawling on them. But, don't you find it unsettling when they crawl all over you? Naruto questioned, his voice filled with genuine curiosity. No, I do not. I barely notice their presence, Shino stated matter-of-factly. Seriously? Naruto exclaimed in disbelief. Yes, it doesn't bother me at all, Shino affirmed, his tone unwavering. Ino, intrigued by the Aburame clan's unique abilities, chimed in. And how do you manage to do that? I mean, I know so little about the Aburames, other than the fact that you guys use bugs. What do you mean? Shino asked, his tone devoid of emotion. Ino reiterated her question, I meant was say is, how do you not find bugs creepy and shiver when they're on you? Shino's expression remained unchanged as he responded, I think you do not want to know the real answer to that question. Intrigued, Ino pressed further, how so? Shino sighed softly before replying, just trust me on this one, Ino. Ino reluctantly dropped the topic, accepting that some things were better left unknown. She shifted her focus to a less unsettling question. Okay, fine, but do you get to choose which bugs you control? Shino nodded, providing a more comfortable answer. That I can answer without disturbing you. When a child is born into our clan, the bugs themselves choose the child. There are several species of bugs we utilize, and once a specific species chooses the child, they become partners, living in symbiosis from then on. Naruto and Ino listened attentively, their curiosity piqued by this newfound knowledge about Shino's clan. It was fascinating and made them appreciate the unique bond between Shino and his insect companions. However, their conversation was interrupted when their sensei, Asuma, finally arrived. Sorry I'm late. Had to deal with some stuff, you know how it is. Asuma apologized, rubbing the back of his head. Both Naruto and Ino couldn't help but shoot disapproving glances at Asuma for his chronic tardiness. Nonetheless, they had passed the time by learning something new about their enigmatic teammate. Ino nudged Naruto and whispered, Asuma-sensei was probably with Kurenai-sensei, what do you think, Naruto? Naruto smirked and replied, yeah, Ino. Asuma-sensei thinks he's so slick, but he's pretty obvious if you ask me. What do you think, Shino? Shino, still maintaining his stoic demeanor, offered his opinion. The possibility is there, though it does make sense considering Asuma-sensei's occasional tardiness. A bead of sweat formed on Asuma's forehead as he gulped nervously, denying his students' speculations. I don't know what you guys are talking about, he stammered. He quickly changed the subject, clearing his throat and asking what they wanted to work on for the day, hoping to divert their attention. His students let it slide, deciding to focus on their training instead. They requested a sparring session to gauge their progress. All right then, let's see if you've learned anything from your last battle, Asuma agreed, eager to get the training session underway. At the training grounds, Asuma found himself facing off against his 3 students, engaging in a 3vs1 battle. It was a test to assess how much they had learned since their last mission. Asuma reminded them of the notes he had given them, urging them to remember their shortcomings and make necessary changes. Before we start, are all of you ready? Asuma asked. Wait, Naruto, make a clone, Ino interjected. Naruto questioned her, for what? To guard my body once I land my jutsu, remember? Oh, right, hehe, my bad, Naruto replied, swiftly creating a clone. Ready, Asuma confirmed. Yeah, both blondes responded. Okay, go, Asuma declared, signaling the start of the battle. Naruto charged towards Asuma, aiming a right hook, but Asuma evaded the attack effortlessly. Reacting quickly, Naruto created a clone to strike Asuma, but his sensei proved too fast. Asuma caught the clone and tossed it aside. Taking advantage of the opening, Naruto attempted to strike Asuma with a knee strike. Although Asuma managed to block the knee, he felt an unusual sensation as if his hand was stuck. Unbeknownst to him, Naruto had applied chakra to his knee, causing it to adhere to Asuma's palm. Seizing the opportunity, Naruto struck Asuma's chin with his other knee, successfully landing a hit. He then continued his assault by summoning a clone to deliver a powerful blow to the back of Asuma's head. The hit connected, causing Asuma to forcibly duck his head due to being hit. Naruto wanted to press Asuma further by performing a kick. However, Naruto's spinning kick missed its mark as Asuma skillfully dodged the attack. Asuma was taken aback by Naruto's unexpected chakra control, realizing that he hadn't even taught him basic techniques like walking on trees or water. But his thoughts were interrupted when Shino launched a swarm of bugs towards him. Asuma swiftly dodged each insect, executing flips and dashes to evade the relentless assault. Now, Ino, Shino called out. Asuma quickly performed a kawarimi, body replacement technique, substituting himself with a log. Ino was about to initiate her Shintenshin no Jutsu, mind-body change technique, but she hesitated just in time, avoiding losing consciousness. Asuma appeared behind her, attempting to strike her, but Ino ducked and retaliated with a sweeping kick. Asuma managed to jump away, giving Ino an opportunity to create distance by executing a reverse somersault and dashing backward. Good job, Ino. Don't release that jutsu until you're certain it'll hit. Asuma commended. Suddenly, he sensed a chakra signature approaching from behind. It was Naruto sprinting at high speed. Kage Bunshin no Jutsu, Shadow Clone Technique, Naruto yelled, creating 3 clones to confuse Asuma and mask his true location. Naruto and his clones moved in erratic patterns, attempting to make Asuma lose track of the original. Anticipating Naruto's tactics, Asuma leapt into the air, evading a pair of arms reaching up from beneath the ground. Nice try, Naruto, but I know you love that trick, Asuma remarked. How can you be sure I'm not a clone? The clone beneath asked. Asuma's realization struck him as he looked above. Bunshin Kaden Kakato Otoshi. Clone spinning heel drop, 3 copes of Naruto descended from the sky. Eat this! They shouted as they descended upon Asuma. However, to their surprise, their attack struck a log, causing it to shatter into splinters. Damn it! Asuma-sensei performed a kawarimi. Body replacement technique, Naruto exclaimed in frustration. Suddenly, he found himself dragged down into the ground. Asuma used the Doden, Shinju Zanshu no Jutsu, Earth Release, double suicide decapitation technique, to trap Naruto's head above the ground, demonstrating that he was not the only one capable of underground tactics. Naruto struggled but couldn't free himself from the jutsu. While Asuma dealt with Naruto, Ino threw shurikens at him, but they hit yet another log. Frustrated, she expressed her disbelief. Suddenly, she felt a presence behind them. Asuma had swiftly moved behind Ino and Shino, attempting to land a hit on both of them. However, they managed to evade his attacks in time. Ino sensed the presence once more and turned around, finding Asuma behind her again. She blocked his punch, but the force was powerful enough to make her slide across the ground. Meanwhile, Shino was observing the situation from a distance until he heard rustling from behind. Reacting quickly, he threw shurikens at the bush, but nothing happened. Suddenly, another Asuma appeared behind him. Pay attention, Shino. Just because you see your opponent busy with someone else, doesn't mean you're safe. Asuma emphasized the lesson that even if there's only one enemy, they could still be at risk of a threat. Shino then blocked Asuma's kick with his arm, causing him to back off. However, when Shino tried to escape, he bumped into yet another Asuma. It was too late as Asuma caught him in a lock. The only one left was Ino. She and Asuma engaged in a series of punches and jabs. Ino did her best to block each attack, but Asuma's strikes were heavy, causing her arms to go numb. Ino attempted a punch, but Asuma caught her arm and pinned her down on the ground. Once all his students were freed, Asuma gathered them around him to share some final notes. Listen up. Here are some more of my notes. Let's start with you, Ino, Asuma began, and Ino nodded attentively. Your speed and accuracy have improved, which is good. And it was smart of you to cancel your jutsu when you realized it wouldn't land. Though, you still struggle with close-quarter combat. Try finding a weapon that suits you, a sword, senbons, or a kusarigama, up to you. Having a versatile arsenal will help you fend off your enemies in different situations. You have to remember that not every fight will be in your favor, so be prepared. Asuma then shifted his focus to Ino's reliance on her clan's techniques. Ino, you rely too much on your clan's techniques. I'm not saying they're not powerful and useful, all I'm saying is that it's important to widen your skills. I mean, I've seen your father fight, and he's able to use offensive techniques effectively. Maybe we should find out about your chakra nature and start learning from there. But overall, you've made improvements, good work. Ino listened attentively, taking note of Asuma's feedback. She was determined to work on her weaknesses and expand her abilities to become a stronger ninja. Asuma took a moment to acknowledge Shino's contribution in setting up Ino for her almost successful jutsu. Shino, I'll give you points for creating an opportunity for Ino to land her jutsu. I see that you're starting to understand how to set the pace of a battle as a team. Though, it's important that you also learn to fight independently. Your teammates won't always be by your side, and you need to be able to defend yourself. Try focusing on improving your close combat skills, it appears to be your weakest area. Once your enemies find out about this weakness, it will become harder for you. So, it's in your best interest to work on it. Also, keep your guard up and stay vigilant. A healthy dose of paranoia is necessary. Given your logical and level-headed nature, I believe you can pull it off. Keep up the good work, Shino, Asuma commended, patting his shoulder. Turning his attention to Naruto, Asuma expressed his admiration. And now, Naruto, I'm impressed. You caught me off guard back there. When the hell did you learn how to perform tree walking and water walking? Naruto chuckled in response. I didn't actually. I used Nebiken, sticky fist, which is in this scroll right here, he explained, handing over the scroll he had referenced. Curious, Asuma took the scroll and began reading it himself. He was genuinely impressed by Naruto's resourcefulness and ability to find a style that suited him. I see. Great work, Naruto. You've found something that works well for you, keep it up. Asuma then asked if there were any questions, but none of the students had any. Satisfied, he dismissed the class, stating that the training for the day was complete. Alright then, all of you are dismissed. Except you, Naruto, you stay, Asuma instructed. In a teasing tone, Ino couldn't help but joke, oh. Someone's in trouble for kicking Asuma-sensei's chin. Naruto's voice trembled with worry as he responded, ha ha, very funny, Ino. You're not mad about that, right, Asuma-sensei? Right, Naruto asked. Asuma reassured him, of course not, Naruto. Naruto let out a sigh of relief, saying, okay, thank goodness. Ino and Shino bid their farewells, leaving the training grounds. Naruto remained, curious as to why Asuma wanted him to stay behind. Why do you want me to stay, Asuma-sensei? Naruto inquired. Asuma explained, since you learned a skill that's similar to chakra control, there's something I need to explain to you, so listen up. I'm sure that you'll need extra practice when it comes to chakra control, kid. Naruto seemed puzzled. Huh, but why? Asuma responded, I just know that you'll need more time to practice, not because you're dumb, but because you have an abundance of chakra. Perplexed, Naruto pressed further. Okay, but what does having a large amount of chakra have to do with it? I thought having a large amount of chakra was good. Asuma began to illustrate his point. It is but imagine you have a bucket that contains all the water in the world, and you're asked to water a single flower. It would be challenging to water the flower with just enough water without drowning it in the process. Similarly, when someone has a large chakra reserve, it becomes more difficult to control and mold that chakra accurately. That's why I'm telling you this. Understanding started to dawn on Naruto. I see, Asuma reassured him. Don't worry, kid. I'll help you along the way. Also, make sure to tell your teammates to meet me here tomorrow. It's time to go on missions again. Naruto expressed his gratitude and bid farewell. Asuma, alone on the training grounds, reflected, they're starting to grow. I'm proud of them, speaking to no one in particular.